I posted recently about how the fear of other people's judgments can hold us back in eating disorder recovery. This used to be a huge issue for me. I was hypersensitive to any conversation, body language or facial expression around food, weight, body shape and exercise. Growing up, people often made judgments about my body. I was small in stature and size as a young person. This had its benefits, like getting to go on the bouncy castle as a 10-year-old when only 6-year-olds were allowed, or the time I went to the swimming pool and was charged the price of an infant when I was 12. Okay, perhaps that guy didn't really understand what the word infant meant. But I didn't like the comments. I began to feel self-conscious about my body. I didn't like to think about people looking at it and judging me. I worried that my body would change and people would react negatively. I wore jumpers in summer to cover myself up. I tried to keep my body the same because I thought my childlike body was what gave me my worth as an individual. When I developed anorexia as an adult, my sensitivity towards others' judgments only grew. My weight dropped and, like when I was a child, this attracted positive attention. A relative who was always notoriously hard to please asked me if I'd considered modelling. I was desperately unhappy, but on the outside, apparently I looked high fashion. People complimented me for my willpower when I didn't eat the biscuits. How could I disappoint them by reaching for one? People complimented me on my fitness when I exercised every day. They didn't know about the heart palpitations. I liked being admired. How could I tell them it was all a lie? Recovery felt impossible. I would lose the compliments, but not only that, I thought I would lose my worth. But I had to recover. My body and my mind couldn't take the suffering anymore. I didn't tell people I had anorexia, nor that I was in recovery. I worried that they would notice my weight gain. But it turned out that, well, most people didn't. The ones I care about most were happy about my weight gain, because with that I grew my personality, sense of humour, and the ability to hang out with friends over a cup of coffee and a piece of cake. A couple of people made comments and they bothered me. Intended as compliments, they didn't feel that way. I wrote positive affirmations daily and made a collage about the benefits of weight gain to reassure myself that gaining weight is good, no matter what society tells us. It took a while, but now I believe it to be true. For months in my recovery, I remained hypersensitive around food. I fretted over reaching for a biscuit in front of everyone else. Everyone will judge me. They think I'm too big to eat such a sweet, delicious thing. But no one is too big to eat delicious food. I hated making snacks and meals for myself around other people. They will think I'm eating too much. They know I don't deserve to eat this. My dad would make a facial expression that I thought meant, "That's too much for you." But now I know it actually means, "I'd like some of that." Whether people talked or didn't talk, raised their eyebrows or frowned, I thought they were judging me negatively. I've learnt that this was mostly a projection of my own worries and fears onto other people. Because of anorexia, I was obsessed with food, weight and bodies, but healthy people don't care. The people who I respect don't give a shit about my body size or what I eat. My fears of judgment took a while to diminish, but now I feel so much more confident in my body and just with eating in general. It's a huge relief, and it's only through recovery that I've got to this point. I know that I'm privileged. Even in recovery, my body has remained societally acceptable, but there is something to be said for living authentically. And honestly, if you shame people for eating because of their body size, if you shame people because you think they are too big, well, shame on you. For the sake of everyone in our global society, you need to unlearn your fat phobia. So, I know how a fear of judgment can hold someone back from leaning into recovery, but I urge you to try recovery anyway. The people that matter won't judge you negatively for gaining weight, eating and resting. In fact, you'll probably find that the ones that really matter, the ones that really care, will actually be delighted.